Coach, you got a couple of new
I got you.
couple,
Yep.
couple of new guys on the staff. Could you tell us a little bit about them and what their duties are going to be with the team? James and
Oh, you said the staff. I couldn't hear that. Well, Coach Coach Gary came from Mercer, and he's come highly recommended, and he does a really good job. I think that experience we can always have. I love having guys that a lot of sense that can teach me things. I'm not a know-it-all. I'll learn, and Coach can teach me some things. He's been around the game a lot. He's been under great coaches, and so I'm really looking forward to being around him and working with him. James Forrest, a familiar name to the people in the area. A Georgia Tech guy. James is someone that I've known since I think we were probably 11, 12 years old. And basketball really comes full circle a whole lot of times, and I think that's what it was with him. And James will help. The biggest thing for me when I took the job, if you remember back to the press conference, is trying to connect everybody again. And James has a connection to the past that can bleed all the way to the current status that we're in right now. And his relationships, not only around the community, will be an asset to not only to men's basketball but just to the whole athletic department in general. And we look forward to having them around. It's always good to have a former player that has been around and has been here and knows faces and knows the community, and always reach back to what worked back when and what maybe can work moving forward.
Looking at your team, there's a lot more length now and kind of position flexibility with the guys you brought in. I imagine that was something you were really keyed in on as you evaluated and wanted to make changes with your roster in the offseason.
No question. I always love length. I like interchangeable parts. I think that we added shooting, and I'm excited about our team. Just more importantly, it's the connectivity of the team. And I would say this, nobody talks about this because it's kids, right? To ask people to go into and play a different role than what they've done essentially for their whole career, it's hard. So I commend them, for even, doing what they did, because it's not easy, And, this group of guys, they're guys that, as you go through a season and you go through the things that you want to do, there's a lot that I didn't even get to last year based on the fact that it was just a scramble and it was on the run, as I was putting the roster together. And we've already done more this summer, truthfully, than what I did probably. I probably didn't get to some of this stuff until late October, So the fact that we are able to dry run, I have a full roster right now with the exception of Bai not being here and went back home. So, it's been great. This summer's been great, and, I'm excited about what's to come.
Ryan Mutombo, how did that come about, him joining the team, and what was the relationship with him there?
There's a lot of history there, but obviously, I know his dad. His dad was actually my cousin's roommate in college, but I think Ryan is someone that can help us. Big body, obviously. And, I always say this, I'm big into this. You got to accept someone for who they are to get the best out of them. So, I don't have any illusions, but he'll help us at what we need him to do. That's what he'll be judged on from me and my coaching staff. So he's been great so far. Takes direction and a great kid to be around.
How have the young freshmen been fitting in this summer?
They've been good. You know, they got a lot of talent. You know, all three of them. Each of them bring a different thing to the table. Dio, the way he shoots it at his position and his size, I think that'll be an asset. And I think that his trajectory, as the season goes on, by the time we hit conference play, I look for him to really, you know, be a contributor. You know, and Darian and Jaden, you know, they've just fit right in. You know, they got things to learn, obviously, but I love what I see from them. They've done a great job up to this point.
You got maybe two of the quicker guards in the conference, you know, with Nate and with McCollum.
Yeah.
Is that going to cause some matchups for the other teams with, you know, them finishing at the basket, you know, defense leaving guys open to guard them, that type of thing?
Yeah, I've always envisioned as a coach of playing 2 point guards together. That's what my coach did in college. I'm saying it now so everybody just get used to it, so it's not something that's new. If you look back to how we played way back when, 25 years ago, Lute Olson was one of the first guys to ever do it. Started 2 point guards. You know where we ended up? Final Four. Not saying that's going to happen, but, you know, you got to figure that out as an opposing coach when you got 2 dudes that can get downhill, 2 guys that can make plays, and 2 guys that can make shots. It's just hard. It's hard to guard.
Watching you guys practice today, the guy who kind of caught my eye was Luke, just with that position flexibility, the size, and the ability to play like a guard, but has a forward size to him. Like, that's got to be a lot of fun for you to have a piece like that with so much experience to bring in.
Love it. You know, the thing about it, you know, Luke is going to be a really good player for us, but the one thing that goes unsaid about him that people should know is that he just left a team that had 3 of the first 42 picks in the draft, but see, we don't want nobody to talk about that. So not only can he play, but he knows how to win. He's played in big games, and that's what I like about him the most. But, you know, he's a little better playmaker than you might think, definitely can shoot the ball. I'm excited about him and what he can bring to the table.
He looks like he's going to be a good fit for the team and a good part of the chemistry of the team. Is that the way you see him?
Yeah, well, I would say this, you know, and, you know, that group of guys, they've already, you know, and it's early, but they've already, you can see they've connected. You know, it's a spirited group. They love competing. You know, a lot of the things we do are going to be competitive drills, 5-on-5 competition. That's all I really care about. Again, it's a little different going into my second year because I had a team and I knew exactly what I needed, you know, once we lost our last game against Notre Dame. And so, you know, we're all excited. Coaching staff, players, we're all excited about, you know, getting started this year.
Lance, you guys made a very tough decision last year to redshirt him and save him for this year, and it seems like that's going to pay huge dividends for you. What is it like having him back and kind of that glue guy for your team?
Man, it wasn't tough. That was all fluff. Knew Lance was redshirting probably about 3 games in, if you really want to be honest.
Sure.
Yeah, that's really what was happening. So Lance always was redshirting. Lance came to me and said he'd rather, you know what we were actually doing and have a year under the system before he played, which make a lot of sense. You know, so, you know, the thing about him is now just, you know, getting him through the year, keeping him healthy. You know, I think that's the only thing that stopped Lance since he's been here at Tech. You know, he's a really good player. He's a seasoned player. He's seen a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play this year.
Are you involved in building the schedule, and how's it coming along?
Schedule will be released here in a little bit. It's just some contractual things. That's the only holdup. Yep.
How do you go about putting that together? Are you looking for sort of a mix of really tough challenges and maybe some games you feel like you can win?
You got to try to win as many games as you can. I think based on the structure of what's already in play, you got 20 conference games. That leaves 11. You got 3 games that you got to play. You know, you play Georgia. You got the SEC, ACC challenge, and you usually want to play some type of neutral, you know, here. And so that leaves 7, 8 games maybe. So trying to see what's out there, schedule as many wins as we can. But I think you basically, honestly, you base your schedule on what you got. And I love my team. I think we can, when it's all said and done, I think we'll be able to play with anybody.
Defensively, it seemed like the energy and a lot of focus there from what the players are saying. It seems like the offense, you guys should be able to score the ball, but defense is maybe where you want to pick it up level this year.
Again, didn't have a chance to really get to a lot of this stuff, and so where I had been in my prior places, we were always 1 or 2 in our conference. When I was in Boston, we was number 1 in offense and defense. So I'd never been a part of something defensively that wasn't good. And so for me, the first thing this year was just be more physical and be more aggressive. We can't play on our toes. It's not a matter of they're saying that because they don't know me. And this just started. Defensively, if we can't get stops, it don't matter. You got to be able to get a stop when needed. And that was our problem. We were in a lot of games last year. We couldn't get stops when needed. So that's an emphasis. And in terms of offense, we'll figure that out. And I think I got a good staff. I'm not even really coaching offense. I know exactly what we're doing because we're framing and shaping it together, but I'm concentrating more on defense. We need stops. That's all I care about, getting stops and running.
You found Bai and Nate last year, and you caught everybody by surprise. Is there someone this year and you talked about Bai going into the season last year, is there someone that's going to surprise people on this team?
I don't think I would categorize anybody as being a surprise because they've been named. Even my freshmen, they came in with bigger reputations than those guys. But what I will say is this: I will say making a jump from freshman year to sophomore year is the hardest. So just to think that Bai and Nate is going to come in and just all of a sudden just pick up where they left off, you got to work. And I've told them that. I've told them as much, So I'm still concerned about that part of it because it just don't happen overnight. That's not how it works. I remember my sophomore year of college. I was inconsistent until Christmas, after Christmas. So there's things that still got to get done. We're nowhere near, what we can be and who we need to be, and we just need individuals to be better and consistent. That's right now for me. That's the biggest thing.
Thanks, David.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right.